there are a lot of black people in Portugal. Olá, bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite. Meu nome é Araba. Eu sou natural de Ghana, mas agora eu vivo em Portugal. Yes, I just spoke Portuguese. Yes. I'm not a natural, so it might be funny to the real Portuguese, but I mean, I'm trying, right? I'm trying. Okay. So today I'm talking about a very interesting, a very controversial topic, which is black living in Portugal, being a black person in Portugal. I mean, let me start from the fact that there are a lot of black people in Portugal. There are a lot of black people in Portugal because of the fact that there are Portuguese colonies like Mozambique, Angola, Cabo Verde. They are all living, or most of them are living in Portugal. So, and all these people are black people, obviously. So, there are a lot of black people in Portugal. And by that, most of the Portuguese assume that every black person is from one of these countries, so they probably speak Portuguese, which is not true because some of us are not from these countries and we don't speak the language. I mean, we are learning because we got to know that it is extremely important to know the language. I mean, I don't know how to emphasize this. It is so important to know the language in Portugal. Why am I saying this? Because most Portuguese people speak English, but they prefer to speak their language, which is understandable. I mean, I'll not be in my home country and be expecting me to speak another language. I would want to speak my language. So yeah, everywhere you go to, you speak Portuguese. This cuts across not just a black person, any other person, be it an expat, any other person from any other country that doesn't speak Portuguese will face this difficulty of a language barrier. Recently, a colleague of mine told me about an incident where she went to one of the offices and was trying to go through all this documentation process, and the lady attending to her says she doesn't speak English and she also doesn't speak Portuguese. And the lady was a little harsh on her with the fact that she doesn't speak Portuguese, which brought tears into her eyes. She almost cried. Right? I mean, it's so frustrating. I'm saying it smiling, but it is so frustrating to be in need of something, or especially with regards to your documentation, because that is very, very important when you come to Portugal. You need to make sure that all your documents are intact. You need to make sure that you have all the information, all the requirements, all the cards, all the NACE, all these things done. And if you don't speak Portuguese, going to these offices by yourself is quite stressful because most of them will refuse to speak English with you. Some people are extremely nice and would help you regardless of the fact that you don't speak Portuguese. So it depends on who you meet over there, but majority would want to speak Portuguese. And as a black person who doesn't speak Portuguese, it's quite difficult. It's really difficult. So yes, that is one of the struggles I face. Like I said, the language barrier is not just limited to black people. It's just limited to anybody, black, blue, yellow, white, green, wherever you're coming from. Once you are in a country that speaks a different language from yours, it's always a struggle. But we are learning, right? We are learning little by little because it makes things easier. So if you're now thinking of coming to Portugal or you're already in Portugal, I would entreat you to take the language very, very seriously because it's going to help you a lot. It's going to stop you, prevent you from crying in any office because you'll be so frustrated. Okay, so the second thing is how friendly are the Portuguese people. This is a very difficult topic to talk about. I mean, if I'm being real, it's kind of difficult to talk about, but let me take it from this angle. If I don't speak your language and you don't speak my language, how do you expect us to communicate? Yes, so that is where the problem starts from. So I wouldn't say they are not friendly, but in terms of communication, because we both don't speak the same language, it become a little difficult. But the other side of the story is most of them speak English, but they would not want to speak English. They want you to learn their language and speak their language, which is acceptable. I mean, which is very very understandable. Just last year, I experienced a few situations where I was asked to speak Portuguese. I mean, for me, my strategy was okay. I've been learning, and the language is not easy, so I've been learning. I know a few words. So the moment he asked me to speak Portuguese, I just say all the words that I know. Does it make sense? Probably not. But I just say all the words that I know just for you to know that I am trying, I am learning, right? So, and the people that I meet in these situations are also very, very kind and nice people, because the moment I start saying all the words in Portuguese that I know, they try to now speak English with me, because they know that okay, she knows somewhere, she's trying, and I think that's what they want to see. So try speaking something, try saying something. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm sure my intro wasn't perfect at all. If a Portuguese person is listening, it wasn't perfect at all, but I mean, I'm trying, I'm learning the language. But the difficult part is, I think it's with every other new language you're trying to learn. If you don't have people to speak with, it becomes more difficult. I learn and I don't have anybody to speak with. So I learn and forget. And sometimes when I go to work, right, I try to speak with my colleagues. And because I don't do it often, I've, I already forget everything that I know. On my own, I can speak a few words, I can even form sentences and all that. But the moment I meet a Portuguese that I'm supposed to say or speak Portuguese, I forget everything. I go like, mm, mm, mm. So that is that is the downside to it. But most of the people are accommodating, if I should put it. I wouldn't say friendly, but I would say they are accommodating. But in recent times, to be sincere, there's this uneasiness or friction, if I should say, happening in Portugal with regards to foreigners and local. Not everyone, some of the locals are still as nice and accommodating. Some are also very trying to reserve themselves or trying to not get too close. That is just in support of the fact that there's been an influx of foreigners in Portugal, which is true. And I mean, I feel like the Portuguese people are beginning to get fed up of that. So, yeah, sadly, reacting to it in a way, which is also understandable. I mean, if you travel to any other country, you need to integrate, you need to try to learn from them, their culture, their food, everything that makes their people. You need to try and integrate into the new environment that you are in. Don't leave from wherever you're coming from and go to another country to impose your culture on them. That is quite annoying. So I understand them in that area. Now, the next one is racism. I've tried so hard not to talk about this topic, right? I rather talk about the friendliness, not to use the word racism, right? Because the racism is a strong word. So I really don't like using the word racism. But the truth is, you will meet people that are not racist and you meet people that are racist. That is the truth. But in general, I can't say they are racist. No, they are more accommodating than racist. And even the racism in Portugal is mild. they don't, it's not visible enough to call it as racism. It's just mild. Like you can't really tell whether it's unfriendliness or it's racism. You can't really tell. It's it's like in between. You can't even tell what it is, but you still feel some kind of tension, some kind of uneasiness when you are in certain places and with certain people, with some people, you would feel that tension as a black person. You would feel it. Personally, I've not really experienced any form of racism, so I can't really say. But what I have experienced is some kind of tension sometimes in certain places, right? You feel a little tense because of how the environment is, how receptive the environment is, and the vibe of the place. You, as a black person, will start feeling a little tensed, which is the only thing that I have felt. And the tension is coming from the fact that somebody is looking at you a certain way, somebody is reacting to you in a certain way, somebody is answering your question in a certain way that is not very friendly, right? So that is what I mean by you will feel a little tensed. So that is what I have experienced. But in general, I've experienced a lot of friendly people. I've experienced a lot of helpful people. So I wouldn't say that it is yeah, racist. No, it's just that it is everywhere. Some people are nice, others are not nice people. That is just what it is. So you would definitely encounter all these kind of people, and it depends on how you react, how you take it, and how you react to it as a person. But for me, I just don't really take it to heart, no, because I know what is happening all over the world. I'm from a country that is super, super friendly to foreigners, like super friendly, even more friendly to foreigners than we, the locals. So, I mean, if you travel somewhere else and you're not seeing or receiving the same kind of environment, there, start feeling uneasiness. Again, I would say the Portuguese people are one of the realest people that I've seen or I've met, because like you get what you see. They don't pretend. They just what they are, they speak their mind. Yes, that they do. They really speak their minds at all times. They will speak what they think regardless of who you are. And I really admire that about them. I mean, it's a good thing. They're not going to pretend. They're not going to give any special preference or special treatment to you because you're coming from or whoever you are. No, they're just as real as possible. If they are being hostile, they are being hostile. If they are being friendly, they are being friendly. If they are being helpful, they are being helpful. That is it for them. So you get to know who you want to associate with and who you are going to stay away from. It's easy to tell because once you approach the person, the person will let you know whether I'm approachable or not. So you get to stay away or not. So that is one thing that you need to be very mindful of. If you study them, you would know who to approach and who not to approach, because like I said, their demeanor and everything will let you know that, hey, no way, don't come close. When it comes to dating, I think most of them are open-minded, especially the younger ones coming up. I mean, I think they are more open-minded and more receptive of the idea of interracial relationships and all that. So for now, I'll just say it is a little confusing. It is a little confusing, but I've seen a few people doing it. Very few people in interracial relationships, as in a Portuguese dating a black person or vice versa. I've only seen a few, but I think there are more open-minded people who are trying to explore these kind of things. So These are the most important things. I mean, people are curious about when it comes to black in Portugal.